antique historical equipment you have never heard of and their uses. Icebox. Icebox was one of the antique gadgets used in ancient times. Before the invention of the refrigerators, it was the vintage object used as their alternative. The box was made of solid wood to hold cold storage. The icebox structure contains 3 to 4 compartments. The topmost compartment was the place where the large ice cube was placed, to keep the other compartments cold for a longer duration. As the milkman, there was an iceman who used to deliver ice to every house having ice boxes. People earlier used to avoid the use of chemicals in their processes. So, the ice was naturally harvested in the cold region and was then exported to the hotter region. Barber surgeon case. It was first used in 1715 in France. Apart from shaving and cutting, the barber surgeon used to perform small surgeries using his case, which included weird tools. The object served a dual purpose in surgeries like treating small wounds, injuries, and bloodletting. A total of 20 accessories were included in the silk-lined oak case. Tools like porcelain cups, a brush to apply shaving cream, an assortment of glass and pewter bottles to carry cold and hot water, and many other small objects were placed in the case. The most bizarre tools in the case were the cutthroat razors. It was the most ideal thing for opening veins. Urumi. Difficult to master, Urumi is the last weapon taught in the practice of Indian martial arts of Kalaripayattu. Kerala is the place of origin where it was first invented and used. Sword being a less bizarre weapon, it led to the innovation of Urumi, a weapon having the potential to deeply hurt more than one person at a time. The anatomy of Urumi is made identical to a sword structure, having covered handles and whip tendrils that are flexible blades made of iron and brass. Users need to be masters of momentum for stopping or changing the direction of the whip blade, as it can easily cause injury to users themselves. Dental key. The dental key was one of the first specialized dental equipment introduced to the dental industry. Before the discovery of antibiotic pills, the dental key was a piece of equipment used to pull infected teeth, coming a long way from the dreadful beginning of extracting the infected teeth. The painful process is started by placing the end claw of the dental key between infected teeth and then slowly rotating it, trying to lose the tooth. Before the era of pain relief medicines, the process of removing teeth would be led to tearing apart the surrounding area skin, and sometimes the force would even break the jaw. This brutally terrifying practice method was followed for over 100 years. Sundial. In the ancient era, time was measured using tools like a sundial. The dial was placed facing the sun's rays and the shadow position was used to determine the exact time. The sundial was structured, defining its edges ending with Roman numbers and the claw centrally placed known as a gnomon. As the sun moved, the gnomon cast a shadow showcasing the time. Before the innovation of clocks, sundials were the only way to detect accurate time and day. The first ever sundial was invented in 1500 BC in ancient Egypt. Codpieces. Codpieces were one of the male accessories used to cover their genital area. One of the biggest disadvantages of codpieces was that they drew unwanted attention to man's private area. Men used to place the codpieces as a flap or used to attach them as a cover for the crotch of their trousers. During the time of the 15th and 16th centuries, codpieces were considered one important item in European fashion trends. The study termed that codpieces were just triangular cloth pieces used to cover the man's genital part. The de Vieille flute. The de Vieille flute is one of the oldest discovered instruments, approximately known to be almost 60,000 years old. Two archaeologists named Ivan Turk and Jana Sturjek, in 1995, unearthed the flute from a cave near Cerkno in northwestern Slovenia. It is said to be that the four-hole instrument by Neanderthals is carved from the femur of a young bear. As the name states, people are highly mistaken to understand it as a flute. But it is neither a flute nor a whistle. The carved structure was capable of making music and the instrument was made for a right-handed musician. Musicians say that the de Vieille flute has more potential for playing notes than any other Paleolithic flutes found throughout Europe.